Hey, this is the McGuire Review, and today we're going to be taking a look at another Osprey Games as part of our Osprey Games series that we're doing now. And this one is Escape from the Aliens in Outer Space, the Ultimate Edition. Now, this has been out for a little while. It's got some great reviews from places like the Dice Tower. Tom Vassell gave it a review here. Absolutely fantastically fun to play. A Splendid and Glorious Liars convention from Shut Up and Sit Down. So we've got some bigger reviewers in the market that have taken a look at this game as well and had a great time with it. This is a 2 to 8 player game, so this will support up to 8 people. It's 20 to 45 minutes, which is nice with a group kind of like this, and I consider this much almost like a party game where you have quite a few people that are going to be interacting with this game. To be through the game with a capstone time of 45 minutes is a really good time for a gaming group, especially a gaming group where you're kind of bringing in some people that may not be normally used to playing games like this. I think this is a great gateway game to get your friends into that may not be board gamers, and it's got a 12 plus on the age range. So we're going to go through these components here really quick, but I again kind of wanted to show the box. Osprey Games is doing a great job with their packaging of their games, and I think they did a really, really good job with this one. They all are now following kind of this box style where they kind of open up like this, and you can see how nice that looks right inside of there. You got some nice artwork here on the box. It is attached to the box. And then they did a really nice job with the instruction manual, and you can see that's literally instructions. So this is like a quick 5-minute read, and you're up and playing. It really is that easy, and everything that you need to know is right on these little booklets that each player will get, and these are whiteboard compatible. So you're also going to get a dry erase marker that's going to go with this. They included a little cloth here to wipe that off, but everybody can kind of have a napkin if you need to, make changes on your book as you're playing. And this is the instructions. So they put it in this nice little plastic sleeve, and it's got a little cardboard backing to keep it, protected, which I thought was a nice little touch. They don't really need to do that, but they did, and I thought it was nice. It gives you kind of a little read up here in the front to kind of set the stage of what the game is about. And then you'll see as you go kind of through this book here, it does have some images, color, full, very clean direction on what gameplay looks like. You see that there. And there are quite a few things in here that you'll see when you get to the item types as well as the character abilities. So in this game, you're either going to be a human or an alien. That's going to be secret as you play this game. There are quite a few different roles you can be as a human or an alien, and you don't necessarily have to play with those abilities. If you just want to play a light game and you don't want people to have to really think about when to use their ability, you can just cut that from the game and play without that and either be just a regular human or a regular alien. Now, the abilities that you get in the game as a human or alien are abilities where most of them can only be used once during the gameplay, and that's because they're generally a fairly powerful type of ability. Some of the abilities can be used continuously, and those are things that are a little lighter in nature. So let's look at the components really quick. I'll go ahead and get this out. Again, we've got a little cloth they did include just to wipe those books clean, and I really would suggest probably using that after you're done playing and you're kind of putting all the components back in the box. Probably want to open up the books and really kind of give it a nice wipe down with this cloth. Other than that, I just hand everybody a napkin as they're playing if they need to wipe it down and kind of go to the next page. You're going to have your book, and there are 8 of these included, and we'll get into the book here in a second. It's got pretty much everything you need to know right in the book, and then you will get a dry erase marker for that book, which they have included here in the set. All right, so I'll set this aside as we go through the rest of these components. What you're going to find here are the actual alien and human cards. So at the beginning of the game, you're going to shuffle those up depending on how many players are playing the game. Again, 2 to 8. And I do recommend the more the merrier on this one. Absolutely. If you've got 6 to 8 people, this game is a blast because you don't know who the aliens are. You don't know who the humans are. You're moving around the board. Everyone's trying to guess where you are in the map as well as what you are. it really plays out to be a ton of fun. So you're going to mix these cards up, and everybody's going to get one of these cards, okay? And it's as simple as, if you get a card that's red and it's got, it's got a little picture of an alien on it, but if it's red, you're an alien, okay? And it will also tell you up here in the corner to have a little symbol. That's actually your class. So again, we talked about the abilities that humans or aliens can have. Your ability and your class will be indicated right on the card right up front here. So you'll keep that, you'll keep it secret, and see if we can get an example here of a human. Here we go. So if your card is blue, you're a human. Again, the class is going to be indicated right up at the top, so it's easy to see. So you're going to get that card, you're going to keep it secret. You're not going to tell anybody what that is. Now, as you play the game, there's various ways that the other players are going to determine if you're an alien or a human. There's certain actions that the humans will take. To win, a human has to escape through one of the escape pods. So kind of when that happens, you're going to know that person is a human. Now, there's a fun little mechanic they added in for that. When the human tries to escape through the escape pod, you're going to actually draw one of these cards here. And these are the escape pod cards. And what's nice about this is a fun little mechanic where on the backside you've got green cards, and you got one that's red. Okay, that red is a bunk. So if you hit that escape pod and you come here and you say, okay, did I make it? You draw that card. If it's green, boom, 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 you're home free. You just escaped, shot out of that place, you're good to go. If you flipped over a red one, the pod jammed, which means it's a defective pod, and now you're going to have to kind of move away from that area and get to another escape pod. But at that point in time, all the players now know that you're a human. So that's kind of an interesting mechanic. I also like if you play with the classes and the abilities, once you use those once per game abilities, it's very clear if you're an alien or a human, because the abilities are very different. There aren't two that are the same on each side of the house. The abilities are completely different. So once you utilize that ability, it'll be clear if you're an alien or a human. The last type of card we have here is actually our disaster card, we'll call them. So as you move around the map, there will be certain areas on the map that are white, and those areas are safe zones, and there will be certain areas that are kind of a grayish color, and those are areas that you have to draw one of these cards when you land on it. Now, these cards do various different things. We'll grab just a few here as an example. Basically, what they're going to allow you to do is you're either going to have to call out, all is safe, like everything's cool where I'm at, it's kind of a silent zone, nobody really knows where I'm at or what's going on, or you're going to have to indicate that there was a noise made in a certain space, and you're going to have to give everybody the current space that you're in, which nobody knows. Or you're going to be able to say, hey, there's just a noise out there somewhere, and you can pick any space on the board and say, that's where I am. And it can be a lie or it could be the truth. So that's kind of a fun mechanic as well. So you're constantly bluffing and doing things to kind of trick everybody around the playing table of if you're a human or if you're an alien. You can actually play this game acting like you're a human and you're really an alien, or you can play this game acting like you're an alien and you're really a human trying to escape. So that's another really fun aspect of this game. So let's get to our book here, because our book really lays everything out for us really nicely. On the back of each one of the books, it's going to list the human and the alien crews, and it's going to give all the different classes that are available to each one of those two different entities. So you can very quickly see what's available and what that ability of that class does. You're also going to find that same information on the inside. And I think they did a really nice job with the layout of this book, because it basically gives you all the information that you need as you play. So when you're playing, you're basically going to be holding this book like this so people can't see. And you're going to be doing your work down here, marking on this little board where you're moving, and then taking and marking in this little spot over here, like every time you move, where you move. And there's only 40 turns in the game. So there's 40 turns. Once 40 turns are over, the game is over. There's various win and lose conditions for both the aliens and the humans. But I'll flip this around and show you that at the top here, you're going to have quite a bit of information about the game. So let's kind of go through this. At the very top, you're going to have the different symbols that are going to be on these various cards you can pull from your disasters here. And you're going to have announce the coordinates of the sector you just moved to, announce the coordinates of any sector you choose, announce silence in all sectors. You're also going to be able to get items in this deck, and only humans can use items. So again, that's another indication. Once you decide to use an item, it's now very clear that you're a human. Aliens are the only ones that are able to attack. So once you attack a certain spot, it's very clear that you're now an alien. So you can see there's a few different actions as you play out the game that are going to take place that are going to make it very apparent if you're a human or an alien. But that's not going to happen usually immediately in the game. So there's going to be a few rounds of this, kind of bluffing and lying and wondering like who is who and what's the agenda of each person playing this game. Below that, you're actually going to see all the different types of icons you'll also find on these cards that are various items. So things like cloning. You can clone yourself if you're a human. Defense, mutation, adrenaline, spotlight. There's all these various different actions that you can take and items that you can use. In the center part of the board here, what you're going to see is every time you make a move, you're going to place that movement coordinates in those brackets. And those movement coordinates are going to be indicated right down here below. So this would be the map that everybody would be using and playing from. And you can use any one of the maps in this book. You can see how many different boards and maps are actually available. And the boards are designed for various different level of players. So let's say you have a 2-player game. Well, you got a 2-player game. You're going to flip over here and you're going to use this little tiny board here. Well, let's say you got a nice big 8-player game. Well, then you're going to use something that looks like this, right? But you're always going to have that map right in front of you. Your start zones are going to be indicated right in the center based on either your alien or human icon. And that's pretty much where you're going to start depending on what you drew at the very beginning. And then everything else that you need to know is right here on this top card. You'll see at the very, very bottom, it gives you some high-level indications for the images that you're going to find on the board. So it tells you declare silent sector. Again, we talked about these sectors that are more of the white color. We'll have some nice close-up pictures here at the end. We've got these grayer color sectors that are on here, and they refer to those as a dangerous sector card or zone. You've got the starting sector for both the alien and the human here right in the center. And then you've got your various escape pods on this one that are at the 4 corners. So again, everything you need to know is right on the sheet. It's a great gateway game. The group will have a ton of fun. I guarantee it. If you find this one, definitely pick it up. I give a high recommendation. And that's the whole game. It really is that simple. It's a very well done game by Osprey Games. Now remember, I'll call out really quick. This is part of the Osprey Games series that we're doing now. We've got a couple more games to get through. But if you watch the intro to the series that we're going through, and I'll put a link to that video in the comments below, we're doing a raffle, or somewhat of a contest. It's not really a raffle. It's more of a contest around a brand new copy of Odins Ravens. So the details of that is going to be in the video that I'll link to the comments below. Take a look at that video. Go and watch the Odins Ravens review. Make your comment, and you might just get a brand new free game from Osprey Games. So click that like, hit the subscribe to join. This has been the McGuire Review, and we'll see you next time.